Eagle Boy, retold by Richard Lee Vaughan. Flip the page when you hear the bell. Along the rugged shoreline of Princess had northwest, a village had stood on the chiefs had overlooking the ocean. Eagles with shore white heads and silk dark bodies swooped over the village.
With razor?
With razor, they shouted, server had fished from the water. The people of the village did not like the eagles. The eagles steal our fish, they cried. Fly away, fly away. Yet one boy, an orphan, loved watching the eagles dip and soar above the ocean waves. Whenever the eagle returned from fishing, he always gave a share of his salmon to the eagles. He would yell, tossing fish into the air for the eagles to catch. You should not feed the eagles, scolded the people. But the eagles are my friends, he replied. The people told him Eagle Boy. Eagle Boy was a good fisherman. In summer months when fish were plentiful, he offered his largest and finest fish to the chief's oldest daughter, Kushiwa. I do not need your fish, she said, mocking him. One year as autumn faded into water, fish became square, and the whole village had begun to run short of food. We must move our village, announced the chief. We must find more food. The people packed all they owned into their canoes. Eagle Boy stood on the beach and watched as one by one the canoes pushed off. Eagle Boy was poor and did not own a boat. We have no more room, said the chief, stepping into the last canoe. Let your friends the eagles feed you, laughed Squishy. But just before they paddled away, the chief's youngest daughter, Charcoal Dubby, slipped Eagle Boy a piece of dried fish so he would not get hungry. As the canoes disappeared over the waves, Eagle Boy stood alone on the windswept beach. He ate his small piece of dried fish and fell asleep to the sound of waves crashing against the shore. And that night he dreamed of eagles soaring in the sunshine, eagles swiping over Lang's march of his fish. He even dreamed that he too could fly. As the morning sun stretched its golden fingers across the beach, Eagle Boy awoke to the shrieking of an eagle as it dropped a fat fish beside his fire. Thank you, my friend, he shouted as the eagle flew away hungrily. Eagle Boy roasted and ate the fish next morning. 2 eagles dropped fish by his fire. Thank you, he shouted Eagle Boy again. I will live another day. The next sunrise, Eagle Boy watched as 3 eagles dropped silverfish on the sand. He ate his fill and spread the rest out to dry.
When even a poached Eagle Boy gathered all the wood he could find and built an enormous bonfire on the beach, dancing around and around the flames. He sang songs to honor the eagles.
The next morning, the sky was full of eagles circling over a huge dark object close to shore. They were bringing him a whale. Eagle Boy slipped a long rope made of cedar bark around the whale and tied it to a rod. The whale could provide enough food for a whole village. The largest eagle landed beside Eagle Boy. Eagle Boy tied a strip of dried fish around the eagle's neck. Take this to Chudko DB, he said. I want to repay her kindness.
Gliding on the wind, the great eagle found the tribe huddled around a campfire on the distant beach. Hunting and fishing had not been good. The shadow of hunger showed on the people's faces. The eagle landed beside Kuchiba as the dung hopefully for clams on the beach. She realized at once who had sent the food. Taking the dried fish from the eagle, she gobbled a few bites and then raced to her father. Look, she cried, a gift from Eagle Boy.
Squish-E eyed the fish with greed. The boy you left behind is rich with food, she said to the chief. While we have nothing, take us back, father. I will marry the boy and we will eat his food. Chief shook his head in shame. We were wrong to leave the boy. The people around the campfire agreed. We thought only of ourselves, said one man. The boy will not accept us back, said another. Even if we did, said an old woman, we can never make the journey home without food. Perched on the branch high above them, the eagle listened to the people spreading its giant wings and returned across the water.
That night, Eagle Boy stood before the great eagle. The eagle's inside eyes were dark pools of wisdom deep in those eyes. The boy could see a distant beach where his people sat weak with hunger. Eagle Boy turned toward the flames. Let them go hungry, he shouted in anger, just as they left me to do. In the silence, the great eagle watched and the boy staring into the fire. Eagle Boy remembered the canoes pulling away He remembered Kushua laughing at him, but he also remembered Kukudubi slapping him, slipping him food, and the eagle had bringing him fish and saving his life.
At dawn, the boy stood before the great eagle. "How can I help my people?" he asked. The eagle spread its wings and lifted into the air as it rose. The shiny black feather fell floating down towards the eagle boy. The boy reached out and caught the feather. As he did, a wave of power flowed through him, and in that moment the boy took the form of an eagle.
On distant beach, the tribe set weak with hunger. Suddenly, the sky was filled with screeching eagles. Eagles swooped. Eagles scared. Eagles flew over the people, dropping hundreds of silverfish. A sign from Eagle Boy, cried Kushua. Be smiling, yes, agreed the chief. He was forgiven us. Now we can go home with a renewed strength. People packed their canoes and set out across the water.
Eagle Boy stood alone on the beach, watching the canoes approach. A single black eagle feather hung from his hair. The chief was the first to come ashore, with Quishy Mat beside him, dressed in her finest cedar bark clothing. "You have saved our people," said the chief. "I offer my eldest daughter, Quishy, in marriage." The eagle boy shook his head. "I cannot accept. My heart belongs to Chakodibi." The people honored Eagle Boy and Chakodibi with a wedding celebration and a great feast.
Just finish it, Romeo. Yeah, finish it. Just finish it.
From that day on, the people from the Pacific Northwest coast, the people lived and hunted in harmony. In time, the Eagle Boy grew to be a great chief, and the eagle became a symbol of his people. The end.